So look what we got in the mail. This is the MacBook Pro, and we're going to be doing an unboxing video right now.
Hello and welcome to the Geek Tech Show. And guess what? 2020 is coming out, and because of that I am not only upgrading my entire equipment. There's so much hot stuff that is coming up in the show for this year, so make sure you subscribe right now. There's tech reviews, everything in between, entertainment, conspiracies. Wow, so much content coming in this channel starting very soon. And because of that I had to actually upgrade my computer. I have to get a brand new one because there is so much video content that I have to post for you guys. And this is a video review of the MacBook Pro. I do a lot of video reviews and this is just going to be one of them. So make sure you subscribe right down below. So in today's video, we'll be checking if this computer is right for you. Of course, looking at the entire box itself, you're like, oh, cool. You're gonna do a review of the box? Well, no. No way. I'm not doing a review of the entire box. You almost dropped it too. So what I'm doing is a video review of the brand new. This is the brand new MacBook Pro. Slim, beautiful, mini size, 13-inch. And is this worth the $3,000 or $2,000, whatever you decide to spend on it? This is the space edition of this, so not a normal version of this. This is the space version, space gray, that's what it's called. The silver version is also a different version itself, but they told me that this looks more professional, so I decided why not just get the most professional looking version. And I'm glad I did. It just looks a lot more cool than the just normal silver version, that is. It is lightweight, it is very slim in its size. It features a lot of brand new tech as well, and now you can actually put the adapter into multi variation of different spaces too. And the great thing about this, it just turns off as you just go ahead and close it up. If you want to just turn it on, you just have to open it up, press on any button, and it's gonna light up right there, very fast, very slim. So let's get started with a complete review of this unboxing. And should you actually get one, you will actually just find out by yourself by watching this video review.
As you open it up, you see the Mac itself. It does come in a brand new thing here. It doesn't have this extra box it used to have before. It just has one storage box, and this is it. All you have to do next is just to pick it up and get it out of here. As you open it up, oh wow, it already is installed. I'm just kidding. I installed this previously. But as you open it up, all you have to do is just to press on any key. It wakes up and it boots up. Inside of it, you're going to be seeing the following. So there's not much that is over here. One is the charger cord. Another one is this small booklet. And we have right here the power adapter. And this is it. There was nothing else that is included in this box. So for $3,000, you would think that you'd be getting like a lot of cool things, features, booklets, everything else included like we used to get in the olden days. Nonsense. None of it is included. You just get this and actually the computer itself and just something in the back. Nothing much here. Unfortunately, it doesn't even come in any interesting storage case either, which actually means that you can't actually lift this up and reuse this entire box. It is totally useless. It's just good for putting your computer in here, in and out. In case you do want to ship it back, it makes it pretty easy for you to do so. But other than that, there is no real use for that box.
So let's go ahead and do a close-up review of this high-tech toilet here. And One good thing about this is that it only takes you one finger to open it up. That's the greatest thing about this. It is super slim, and it does feature different things about this than the previous version actually did, including right here the touch bar. Touch bar itself constantly changes depending on what app you have up or application. So before that you had to go through and just had actually physical buttons. It's no longer the case. Over here all you have to do is just to pick the button you want and you go ahead and press on it. The on and off button have disappeared. You no longer actually need it. If you're going to be turning it on and off, it's going to be in the menu itself. There is no buttons that you can just press and it's going to power down. And that is no longer the case here. There is no touch screen, by the way. You still have to use the mouse in order for you to do this. So if you're still into like touch screens and stuff like that, you get the iPad, but not this Mac. This Mac is not. It doesn't have it. The reason why, you don't want to get smudges all over the interface of the Mac, and because of that they don't have a touch bar for you to touch. But I do wish they had it. It would have been kind of cool to have this additional feature where you can just press on things and move them around. Maybe someday they will decide to give this to you as an option. Right now the Apple doesn't actually have it. The keyboard has been redesigned. It is slightly bigger. Of course, there's the speakers on the side as well. You can see it right here. Very small, slim speakers on both of those sides. And it does say the MacBook Pro right here as well. This by itself is huge. You can see it right here. Humongous, big. It was no longer this size before. In fact, it is taking half the whole desktop space for you, where you have the touch bar. And this used to be much smaller as well. So I want to do a head-to-head comparison between both of those Macs and which one is right for you. So there's a few things right off the bat that you probably are going to be noticing, and the difference between both of them. So this is the older one, and this is from the year 2015. This is the year 2019, the brand new, the fastest, and the latest one as well. And we have a few things about them that you're going to be noticing, and you have to figure out which one you want to get for your needs. So first thing you'll be noticing is the power. Both of them are kind of the same exact size, but there's a few textures here. This one is the silver version, this is the space gray version, and there is very slight variation between the colors. I think this one looks just a little bit more professional. In terms of looks, I think the new one looks a little bit better than the old one, but there is not that much differences between those two. But if you look a lot more closer, you're going to be seeing all the real differences between them. So let's go ahead and zoom in just a little bit so you can tell a few differences between them if you can actually see it. First off, this one, the new one, has a touchscreen space bar. The touchscreen space bar is going to have a bunch of different shortcuts that you are always using. So depending on the program that is over here, different shortcuts are going to appear right there. In some ways this is a very annoying feature, because if you want to put the lights on and off and adjust it, you actually have to press on it 2 times for this to actually work. On the old one, you knew exactly what it is, you just press on it and the brightness goes up and down. It's going to be all the way right here, and it is kind of very simple for you to use. So that's a big difference between both of them. Also, the keyboard itself is a little bit, the letters are a little bit bigger, and you do notice that right off the bat as well, because right here all the spacebar disappears. Right here you can see it right now, it kind of disappears, so it's much slimmer than that. Also, a big difference between the two is the screen quality. It seems like the newer screen is more retina and a lot better looking than the previous one. Just a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you can really tell the difference, but I do think this one is a lot better looking. If you view it the screen, the graphics are more
friendly to your eyes and they look a little bit much better. In terms of startup power, this one is so much quicker, and definitely it should be because this is the brand new one. Also, right here, there is the speakers. This is something that it didn't have before. The speakers are right there. It is also ultra super quiet. The external fan that used to blow right here, it always blows right on the window, is no longer here because this is a lot more energy efficient and so much better as well. On the downside, there was a few things I really dislike about the new one that might make it a deal breaker for you. This one had an SD card right here. You can just put it in, the SD card, and for photographers this was just amazing, such as myself, or videographers as well. But this one doesn't have it, so you have to have those external extensions, a bunch of different extensions for every single thing you want to plug in. On the other hand, right here is the power thing, and this is the only place you could put it in, but it was magnetic, which is good. On the other hand, this has 4 different locations you can potentially put the power cord in here, which is good, but the bad thing is, although it has 4 different locations that you can plug it in, that's not necessarily a good thing, because none of it is magnetic. So if it falls, your computer goes with it too. In terms of slimness, they're both kind of the same. In terms of size, this one is slightly bigger. In terms of weight, this one is super lightweight. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit and noticeable more heavy, especially if you're traveling. You want to get the most slimmest and the one that fits into your backpack. This one would be it. It's much more slimmer, but then you need all those extension cords, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of being slimness, because you have to have those cords in order for you to apply and do things such as SD card and anything else in between, and it is a hassle. I like the way this one is, the logo itself. Now this one was just like, it just glows, that's it. Nothing really cool about this logo. Oh, white, I was never a fan of that. On the other hand, this is just like awesome, silver color right out, and it feels amazing too. So this is like a piece of engineering marble. I like the way it looks, but there is a few more downsides on the new one, so let's get into that too. Next downside is the power key when you turn it on. This one had right there, just a power key. You just press on it, it turns on. Very simple. On the other hand, this one doesn't have a power key at all. If you want to turn it off, you have to go into the menu and turn this off. If you want to turn it on, you can turn it on using any kind of key. You press, it just turns on regardless if it is off. This could be super annoying, especially for somebody, let's say you really don't want to turn this on, you just leave your computer right there and somebody accidentally press on it and they turn it on. You do have hopefully your security system on, but the whole problem here is the power. It's going to eat up your memory because it accidentally turned on. So it was on for a few hours until you figure this out, because somebody accidentally just pressed on it and it turned on. I don't like this at all. I wish it still had one button. You press on it, it turns on, turns off. Or maybe there was somewhere in the menu that you can disable this function. I was not able to find it yet, but you could probably correct me if you do find it. Another one, and this is super annoying for people. A lot of people dislike this new feature here, and I will get to it right now, which is right there. You can see this is the screen, the touch screen. I like to use an external mouse, by the way, so I don't really use much of the touch screen, but this one is humongous. It is so big and huge. Now for some people this is a big plus, having such a big huge screen. For other people, when you're actually typing, you can accidentally activate the touch screen. This is why initially this was this small, for that exact reason. So as you're typing, you don't accidentally just press on this screen, because naturally your hands, the way they actually work it, this was designed to perfection. And this, somebody didn't think it over. Somebody who is not a typo didn't know that you're not supposed to create a touchscreen this big. And this is a big deal, by the way. If you type a lot, this is going to be super annoying. It's going to really mess up the things that you're doing. A few other things here that I found very different is that this keyboard is much smaller, a little bit smaller than this one. This one seems to be a little bit larger, just slightly larger, the keyboards and the way everything is arranged here as well. The touchpad is humongous versus the previous one, which was very small. This one is kind of very big. A few annoying things about the new one is that you need to have a bunch of adapters. In fact, we're looking at 1, 2, 3 different adapters to get everything to be used. And this is because over here we have the SD port that we can use and USB ports, and over here we don't get any of those things, and because of that you need an external monitor adapter. You need one for the USB-C right here, and you need one for the SD monitor as well. So we are talking about over $100 of expenses that you have to go ahead and pay in order to get this to work for you. So that actually does give this price tag to be much more expensive, because you need all those different things for us to get this to work. To top it off, this is not the only expense that you get with this. Also, some of the softwares are not compatible, so you have to go ahead and upgrade some of the softwares in order for you to use this new Mac. So that's quite a bummer here. Not to mention a hassle as well, because you need to find compatible ports for every single accessory that you're going to be using, that you used before. I wish Apple was stuck with the same exact ports as the previous one. A few other things that we have here that is different is really just minor things. Everything else is quite minor. And over here it doesn't say anything here what it is. So you don't even know this is a Mac, by the way. But over here they had to put right there, I don't know if you can see it, it says MacBook Pro, Professional. Pro, that's it, just MacBook Pro, all the way right there. Let's zoom in so you can kind of see it. And it says right here. And that is something that wasn't available previously. When you go ahead and close it, this was lighting up. On the new one, it's not. And that doesn't light up. It actually looks kind of more cool, by the way, but it's different design from the back. But one thing that I can't help but notice is how slim the old one versus the new one actually looks. And you can tell by the size of this right here. This is quite big. Now this one is a little bit small, but not too much, just a little bit in terms of size. Which makes me think, why did they actually need it? Just to remove a little bit of size, they had to change all the ports around, and I wish they haven't actually done so. So that is actually a big bummer in some ways too. In terms of the brightness of the screen, when you put this all the way up, they're kind of very similar, but over here, one thing I always find myself is, where is the brightness button? You have to press on the brightness once, and then you have to press on it again in order to shift the brightness up. So that's actually quite annoying, because it constantly migrates and moves to different locations over here, and I'm not really used to it being this way. For example, there's physical buttons over here. I know where the brightness is, I just press on it. I know where the sound is, I know where to turn it on and off, and everything else over here. All the shortcuts are all available over here, and I don't need to do nothing. Play the DVDs, stop them, or just music, and escape buttons, everything over here that I need. On the other hand, this sometimes shows up here, sometimes doesn't, and you definitely need two buttons now. Press on it once, press on it twice in order for you to do up and down with the brightness, and that was not the case before. and let's hear some sound. Now we're testing the sound out. And now I turn it off by pressing this button and turn it back on. And the good thing about this is that the speakers are built right on this side over here, on both sides. It is built right in here. So the previously, this one, I'm not sure where the speakers are hidden. You can't actually see them. So that's one good thing about this Mac. So overall, it is a very good Mac. It has a lot of features in here, but it has some things I really dislike about it, which is unfortunate because this is a brand new computer and I paid like almost like $3,000 for it. So you would not be expecting to have all those difficulties plus extra expenses that you have to put in order to get this to work. You have 3 different ones right here, which actually is $120 of accessories just to get all your previous things to be working for you. And then of course it messes up the iPhoto, which no longer works. Aperture no longer exists over here either. And after that, the photo library was not loading up before, and you have to reset it for you to actually work on it. Some other apps might not be working as well, so keep this in mind too. It is much faster than the previous one. It does have a bit more processing power, memory, and everything else in here. But a few other small annoying things about the keyboard that might be actually a deal breaker for some, which makes me reconsider this purchase and maybe thinking about switching to the iMac instead and just keeping the older computer, which was working just fine before.